All right, how's everybody doing today? I'm trying out this new mic. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, I think we're good. Forgot to turn my oxygen on. Don't want the flame too intense. Just gonna warm up this tip of the Bunsen. It looks like when I scored and snapped it off of the tubing yesterday, I don't know if you call it yesterday's live stream, but that is not a flat surface, so I'm gonna have to pick off the edges, then I'm gonna pedal that top flat. I'm trying out this new mic. I don't know if you can see it on my shirt. Please let me know what you think. I was listening to one of the other live streams, and I understand why people were dipping out of the streams so quickly. With all of the machines going on, with my vent, the lathe spinning, the torches, blasting, I had to kind of shout to be heard on my phone. And if you're just tapping in right now, I'm just warming up the tip of this glass in the Bunsen because I don't want the whole thing to crack when I put my flame to it in just a moment. Trying out something new today. Check out this remote. Instead of me jumping up there, what I'm gonna do, hold on. I think I accidentally turned off my gimbal. Let me turn that on real quick. See if I can turn it on from here. Alright, I'm gonna hop up there real quick. Hold on one second. That kind of flipped everything on its head. That was crazy. Alright, I am just learning to use this new gimbal, so forgive me. There we go. Alright, drop a comment in the comment section if you could hear my mic. How's everybody doing today? Hey, what up, chaps? Can y'all hear me? Is this thing working? Put this back up in the Bunsen. So what's going on, everybody? Please let me know. Can you hear me? Mic check, mic check. Hey, the mic is working. All right. Not gonna have to shout out y'all today. Dope. Dope. All right. It is cold. I'm in Virginia, in the U.S. I'm a glass blower. This is a milky blue wood connect that I made for the Focus View Carta. The Carta has 3 models: the OG, the 2, and the Sport. The 2 got discontinued, so this is their new one right now. I believe Sam and John, 2 of the main guys there, just took a trip to China to work on number 3, Carta 3. Alright, so this part right here is, let me hop up on the camera to show y'all real quick. Here is like a jagged edge. Now, yesterday, if you watched the live stream, you would have seen me, hot, forgot I just put that in the flame. You would have seen me like score and snap it off of the edge right there. Then I have to adjust the angle in a second. But basically, I want that to be flat. People might put their mouse on it, so I'm gonna superheat this part right here, and I'm gonna just pick it away, and then take my paddle and flatten it out. Where's this remote at? Where's this remote at? Nope. So I'm just gonna heat that one part, try not to heat anything else. Pick. It's more of like a scrape motion for me. I'm like pushing it off. Melt it in. Beautiful. Alright, now what I'm gonna do, see, it would be dope if I could get a little like TV monitor or something so I could see the angle you see, like right on my wall. So I'm just, instead of just polishing it, I'm actually melting it in, like rounding it off now. Now I'm using my tungsten pick. I'm just gonna ream the hole. So when I was putting the heat to it, the hole was collapsing, the tubing. Now I just want to open it back up, so I'm gonna like ream it open. Heat it. How's everybody doing today? Where's everybody coming from? Check the comment sections in a second. Hope everybody's doing well today. Alright. We got one. We got one. Alright, so I'm just gonna pop it out. On to the next. Already have this one ready to go. So, boom, insert, check it out. This one has a spot like right there. It's a little bit better than the other one, so same thing. I'm just gonna pick it. Hey Design, what's up, man? Right now I'm just fixing the top to some E-rig toppers I made. So that one is a milky blue whip connect for the Puffco. Dude, Design, did you just shoot me some love, bro? What? Dude. Bro. My man. Or lady, I don't know. Whoever you are, dude. Bro. So this is the Carter Sport right now. Get that in a second. I'll turn this on real quick. Alright, so one of the things I would like to know right now, because this is the first time using this mic, can you hear annoying things like me breathing or chewing gum? Where's everybody coming from today? Oh man, I can feel a strong burp coming on, but I don't want to like blast your eardrums. Alright, so I'm just warming this up in the Bunsen. I know it looks like an immense amount of pressure pushing upwards, but it's not going to shock the glass and cause it to crack like it would if I'm using one of those torches, because it has the combination, these two, with the oxygen that just kicks up that temperature thousands of degrees. Alright, so this is Gucci. Put that down. Please let me know how you think the audio quality is today. This is the first time I'm trying to use like a mic. It's called a lavalier mic. I can just pin it to my sweatshirt, to my hoodie. So when I'm doing my maneuvers, I don't know if it's like scratching against my hoodie or... I think y'all could hear me. So I'm just polishing. These were sharp from yesterday. Again, if you didn't see this top. So this blue right here was made from this blue. This tip I'm polishing was on this side and was a much smaller diameter, so it was kind of like that. I scored it and I schmacked that off and I put it in the oven, and today I'm now just polishing and melting in that area to round it off, so when you slide like the silicone tube over it, it's not gonna tear it. If you put your mouth on it, you're not gonna cut the inside of your mouth. Just perfectly smooth rounded glass. And then I'm gonna flatten it a little bit also. Whoa. How's everybody doing today, man? Hope everybody's healthy, happy. Alright, Gucci. So you would think it might be so hot I would burn my fingers taking this out, but nope. I mean, if I touch that part right there, 100%. But this just goes to kind of show you the transition of heat through glass. I make another piece, I call it the Turp Pivot Trap. And one of the concerns is having the glass so close to the atomizer. Would the concentrate stored in the top chamber be affected by the heat? And the answer was no. Because that heat transfer takes time. So now I have this one right here. I'm going to take the atomizer out first. This is a functional Puffco peak. What up, what up, what up? Yo, Design, Ben, y'all could hear me? Chapish, you could hear me? Who else is in here right now? Just shoot me like a yay. Say what up, let me know. Yep, hey, what up from India, yo? What part of India are you from? Alright, also, so this was the secret white rod blowout, which was, and I was thinking today we do an encamo. Like we just do a mix of a bunch of different colors to make a tubing that's just multi, like all of whatever this is. But the secret white rod was this, turned into this. This part right here was made from this section. So if it was like that, you know, on this side. And this is for the Puffco Peak. This is also fits the Bomb Skyloud. So this one is the Puffco Peak. This one is the Skyloud. This is also another secret white blowout. This one is a little bit taller. This one has a transparent black base. This one has a transparent light blue base. So bending the NECA we go. Honestly, dog, Carta 2 over the Sport. I'm still a little sour at the, you know, at Focus, but Carta 2 was my daily driver for the longest times. How do you do the effect where it's like a bunch of melting dots? I don't know what you mean. Try to rephrase it, or if you could like give me some example for reference. Alright, so same thing as before. Oh, it is cold. It is frigid up in here today. God damn. What's up? What up, Isaac? Alright. So I'm just making sure this is lined up in the center, because I am bending it straight backwards, right? Boom. Just wipe that off real quick. Right? So, just again, because it's like 30 degrees in my garage, I don't want to put these flames to it immediately. I want to more gradually warm it up in my Bunsen. So I'm going to do this for a little bit. And then what you're going to see me do is I'm going to polish the tip, because that's sharp just like we did with the last one. And I'm going to paddle it flat, pick away any jagged edges, make sure it's uniform. And then we're going to get to bending the neck. So while I'm warming this up, I just want to make sure my tools are where they should be. This is my tungsten pick. I'm going to use this potentially to pull this backwards. My graphite paddles are, if this bends sideways, this is how I'm going to push it back to being straight. So I have magnets over on that end. I'm going to stick this over on this end right there. Right? Alright. Maybe I should wheel this over a little bit. Have you seen my lives before? What do you think? Compared to the others, being able to actually hear what I'm saying. And let me know if you have any questions also. I'm a glass blower. This is borosilicate COE 33, so it's not quite the glass you might have seen in that Netflix series Blown Away. That's soft glass, which is like more malleable. It's easier to shape. Alright. So first thing, this is a really even cut. So I'm just gonna, here, hold on. I like doing it this way because I don't need the fire blasting down that chamber into the device, right? Because this is still a fully functional device. Getting the edges, right? A little bit of blasting, a little bit of heat through that, that's alright, just a little bit. Right? Just paddle this flat a little bit, right? Get it one more time with the polish, and then we're going to be ready to bend that neck. All right, who's with me? Who's still with me? No, down, side. All right, yep, no. Gotta adjust my flames. So before you set, so this is the first stage. You're about to see the second stage. I need to tweak my flames before I let it touch my glass. That's why. Once this gets really hot and a little malleable, I'm just gonna let gravity do its thing and let the neck droop backwards. So that's why I'm gonna start with it facing in this direction. So when I get the other side, it'll fall backwards, right? Keeping it as straight as possible. This way it falls back as straight as possible, and I don't need to do as much tweaking. Now, other people probably have maybe other ways of doing this, but I feel like this is simple enough. With the peak, you only want to slight them back. So I could tell already just looking at it like this. Alright, so I can see it's off in that direction. So at this point, I'm really just going to be using my hand torch. And I'm going to be using my graphite paddle to just push this to where I want it to be. I'm looking down from here and just following it straight down. Gucci. Alright, now I have to make sure it's not bent too far backwards for use. Right, swirl, 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 Gucci. Done. How's everybody doing today? For real, dude. Smash that like. Smash that like. Yo, I'm glad y'all can hear me today, dude. Smash that like, smash that subscribe. I'm trying to step up the game, you know what I'm saying? So we just polished that, we bent that neck. Alright, this one, so here, let me slide this over to the side, right? So this is my, nope, no, no, no. This one, can you see it? It's not flat. This is my graphite plate, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna heat the bottom up and just let it sit on my graphite plate. But I don't want my plate to be cold either, so I was letting that warm up on top of my oven. I don't know why I'm shouting again. I like forgot that I have this lapel mic on, I'm sorry. So I don't want that to be cold and then transition with the super hot glass either. So that also has to be warm. So for this, because it's possibly hot right now, I'm gonna actually, I know y'all almost never see me do this, use gloves. Because safety first. And I am gonna wind up heating this a bit more with my torch. So if you think checking out my 2-stage is cool, about to blast this. Alright, so you can kind of smell the graphite a little bit. Alright, you're still facing the wrong direction. Sorry, folks. No, no, no. Nice and toasty. Can y'all like hear me breathing? Or like chewing gum? I like really chew gum when I'm working, but I am right now. And I think I'm gonna put the bottom in the Bunsen also. So let's take this Bunsen back out also. This could actually take a while to get warm. It just like sucks up heat. Straight up sucks up the heat. But as long as we're decent, I'm cool with it. I'll risk it for the biscuit. Where y'all coming from today? How's everybody doing? Before it starts to stink. And that will stay warm for a while. Oop. Let's not burn me. See? No fear. Where's everybody coming from today? So this is an E-rig topper. This is transparent light blue on secret white raw blowout on transparent light blue base. Fits the Puffco Peak. All Puffco models, it fits the Bomb Skyline Official, and this bottom is just not flat at all. So right now I'm warming this up because I don't want to just crack it, you know. I spent like an hour more doing this. And all I want to do is really get that center so it sits flat. Normally when it starts to get a little red is a good sign that you're ready to start going. Or if my wrist gets a little tired. Just get that center, sit flat. Watch me not use that at all. Well, it's definitely sitting flat now. Bam! Alright, what was that? Alright, so I, in Virginia, am close enough, maybe it's Arlington, whatever, one of the bases, and you could hear the booms. Like choppers flying over, you know? Like can rattle the garage sometimes, just the humming of it. You see everything going on in the news, and then you hear testing going on. I think I might just put this back on top of my oven. Keep in mind the oven is really freaking hot. I'm just trying to get it to be more of an even temperature right now. Remember, I just blasted the center of it, that's it. So before I put it back on top of my oven, I kind of wanted it to just be a bit more uniform and even. I don't want sections of this being way colder than other sections that are really hot, so I think this is going to be okay. If y'all stay with me till the end of this, we can see if it cracked or not, but it definitely sits flat now, so that's cool. Alright, let's work on the next project. I'm going to tear down a couple of more nail adapters before I take them to the wet saw. So let's put this Bunsen down for a second. Alright, we're going to take out the other graphite tool. I don't know if you saw it yesterday, but it's referred to as a 14 female gong. G-O-N-G. Hold on. So, also just gonna put this up on the oven real quick. Right. How's everybody doing today, man? Hope everybody's having a good day today. We're gonna play this. Here we go. Alright. Or this one. Let's go with this one. Alright. So now what I'm getting is my silicone hose adapter, because I'm going to need to puff air through this gong, right? So this is a hollow, this is hollow. So is this hollow arrow. Just make sure this fits in, right? Nope. What's everybody up to today? How's everybody doing today? Not quite a fan. What the heck? You know what? I could work with that. Alright. So, mouthpiece blows air through the silicone hose, swivel, so while it's spinning, out through here. Now it's gonna go out. Now it's gonna go out through there. And when I put my joint on it, I'm then gonna be blowing air through the glass. Alright, hold on. Alright. Got that plugged in there. Now, riddle me this. Do you think it's better to do this live stream in different sections and chop this up versus an hour-long live stream? Put that remote there. Move this. What's the average prices of my product? Everything is for the most part less than $100. And if you're into that like E-rig stuff on my website, ZHDesign.com, it's my birthday month this month. So I am running a 30% off discount sale. And truthfully, I would really appreciate all the support. You know, even if you don't buy something directly from me, I'm trying to do a new thing. So a lot of smoke shops, or a few smoke shops, are coming out with like their own glass lines, their own import lines, and there's just a lot of things that keep happening that make it hard to have competitive pricing, right? And I come from like the beginning of this E-rig space, like in the 2018 time frame when the first Peak and Carter were coming out, and like accessories were first dropping, the aftermarket glassing was first starting for that. And now there are a lot of import companies making things for these devices, and there are a lot of knockoffs. And I decided that I think it's time that I work with a company to make something for me that allows me to stay competitive while, you know, still bringing unique concepts to the table. So I have something in the works right now, and I just got sent a photo of the prototype today, and I'm really excited about it. If you went on my website and you saw the Terp pivot trap, I have it listed for like $100 right now. I'm hoping I could cut that down to like $30 or $40, and I could start doing that with a lot of my other ideas, because I'm not trying to charge like $1 million for a piece. I'd rather be able to have everything be really affordable and, you know, just improve everybody's consumption experience until I start making glassware. And then when I start making glassware and heady art stuff, I'm gonna charge out the wazoo, yo. That is definitely not this. This is about, you know, community. And I'm sorry if I'm rambling. I usually do not do this much talking, period. So I got the joints there, got the Bunsen ready. Alright. Got the punties. Hey. Alright, that doesn't even need to be over here, to be honest. Alright, let me get my tweezers. We got my paddle. We got this, right? Let's change that angle a bit. So, what I was talking about, this is the Puffco pivot. This is this piece that I made for it. I call it the Terp. It's an auto spinner, right? You could also plug a 10 mil joint in or a whip connect in it. So basically, this has glass orb coil in it. When you stick this mouthpiece in it and you inhale, the holes inside of it will spin automatically, right? So it's an auto spinner. You can plug a 10 mil joint in it. You can put this on top of your pen, and there are a bunch of pens where you can then use this as a glass mouthpiece, or like a glass mouthpiece for a joint, right? Then in here, and this part, this is a separate storage container. So I separated this chamber from this chamber completely. So when you're traveling, you're out and about, you could store your dabs in there, right? So check it out, hold on. So, oh, I forget, every time I walk away now, y'all can still hear me. I'm getting a mesh screen for one of the lids so I could show you the caps for them. I made 2 lids, a stock lid and one I might sell separately. I don't know if I could get the guys that are helping make this for me to do both lids cheaply, but there's a difference, if you're into cannabis, there's a difference between smelling and smoking terpenes. Our olfactory receptors process these terpenes differently than, let's say, like what happens in your throat, your mouth. Alright, so this has a mesh screen. So when you store your dabs in the top, you can smell them mid-rib. So you could like inhale, smell, exhale. So you can take advantage of like the aroma therapeutic. Alright, so that's the Terp pivot trap. But for this is like, you know, not the simplest thing to make. This is a threaded glass joint. This is another ground joint. So welding that on there, taking it to the wet saw to do the cuts. So it's kind of involved. You know, so for me as a solo dolo, $100 I feel like is super fair for this this, you know, Swiss Army knife of a top. And if I could have them help me make it for like $30, sell for $30, that would be awesome. I don't understand when people say like crack and meth. Is that like an anti-cannabis thing? Is that like all cannabis-related stuff is crack and meth to y'all? I mean, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. No hate for me. Well, it's not a hundo. I'm just grabbing my coffee. It's in the refrigerator. Hold on. What's everybody doing today? What's everybody up to today? Nah, yeah, it's not loose. This is not loose. Gotta tell you, man, I am really excited that this equipment is working. I wasn't sure it was going to. Yesterday I was thinking, like last night I was thinking I might have to return everything. I couldn't figure out how to get the Hohem. So I have the Hohem M7. And it looked like it would be a really awesome tool to have because instead of having to jump up and down on the lathe table to adjust the camera angles, and you have me like shaking the camera and making you all nauseous, I could just use the remote. And I could not figure out how to get it from landscape into portrait mode. Because in portrait mode, apparently the live stream gets shown to more people. You know, and because everybody's on their phone. I'd be watching on my phone too. Hold on, I'm just gonna... Not everything we can do on camera. Surprisingly though, my other post also was monetized and I wasn't on camera doing this. So let's test it out. Do I make stuff for the Boost Evo? I would if I had a Boost Evo, but if you go on Instagram, there's this glassblower, really nice guy, and I think he makes some really affordable pieces. Comparatively speaking to others, and there's a ton of people that make cool stuff, but this guy specifically, his name is Pad Glass, P-A-D Glass. Hold up, I'm gonna burp. Damn, excuse me. Stop wasting, bro? I don't know what you mean, dog. Talking about the propane, that ain't a thing. Propane is really cheap, and it turns out it is really not bad for the environment like that. It's a green gas, bro. And truth is, it really does not cost that much money at all. Not like a guy to throw away money, but for $26, it lasts anywhere from like 1 to 3 weeks. Unless I am raging the 2-stage pretty much nonstop. So if I was making like 15 toppers start to finish in a day, I might run out of that tank in like 4 or 5 days, you know? But for $26, I don't even need to drive to swap the tank out. It gets swapped right at my door, which is awesome. If y'all want to sponsor me, Cinch, I'm Zach. I'm a glassblower in Virginia, the US. Call me the Propane King. Yeah, pad glass. It might have two. It might have two Ds in it. I did a giveaway with him one time. He also 3D prints. I 3D print too, but he 3D prints this cool. Well, he does stuff for those devices as well. But he had this like trash can 3D printed swab dumpster. That was pretty dope. Everybody still with me today? Everybody still with me? Alright, hold on. What? This is America, use English? What language do you think I'm talking about? Alright, somebody told me that I should be cutting these live streams, though, like at 30 minutes. So we've been doing this now for, 45 minutes? So I think I'm gonna end it and then restart it, maybe? Does that make any sense to y'all? Does that just sound really stupid? You know what? Hold on. Whatever. Screw it. Alright. It's just the same thing. Want everything to be warmed up. Alright. Mike is still with me. I'm gonna slide this out of the way though, because it does not need to be anywhere near me right now. Any of y'all play video games? I saw something about the next GTA. There's gonna be no more delays. And I was thinking, you know, it would be dope to play. Maybe I should get a system. Are any of y'all gamers? I think Halo 3 was probably one of my all-time most played games. I want to get the tool warm, because if there's a temperature difference between the glass and the graphite tool, the glass is for sure gonna stick to it. And you'll probably see me smack the ever-living out of that metal rod to kind of shake it off of the tool, but that could also make the glass explode. If you saw my live stream from the other day, so the first thing to do is to wipe this knot running down my nose. Jesus Christ. And then the next thing let me know if y'all could hear me still. Getting my air, getting my punchy. I'm gonna pick now. And puff while I pick. Not so much as puffing and breathing. So right now I'm tearing down this joint to size. Not enough. Pick up the speed a little bit. Pick up my temperature a little bit. Dude, I can hear the booms. That's crazy. Like again, you see everything that's going on in the news. And then you hear those booms from them testing. Doing drills. Right. The outer diameter on this needs to be like 22.1 millimeters. So let's find out if this is good. I'm gonna say yeah, it's fine. See? Not coming off. There we go. All right. Sticking that in my oven. And on to the next one. Y'all still with me? Y'all still with me? What up? Oh, so this one, these are banger adapters for the Puffco Pro. So it's like if your atomizer died or your battery died and you had a really expensive aftermarket topper and you wanted to be able to use it, you could stick this, you know, take your atomizer out, stick this where that is, put a quartz nail in there, and use it as like a dab rig. So this is a banger adapter, or quartz nail adapter. Now the reason why that got so sticky, I'm pretty convinced, is because I had blasted it with the 2-stage afterwards and hit it with the torch towards the middle. Maybe I should wipe that graphite tool down. So I'm a glass blower. This is borosilicate COE33. This is a German joint. So this was imported from Germany. I can't remember if this was Schott or Cymax. And what I'm going to be doing is just tearing this joint down to size, maybe like to here, if you haven't been watching so far. And I'm just warming this tip up because I don't want it to crack when I blast it with that torch to my left. And I don't want it to stick to the graphite tool I'm about to put it onto. So it needs to be at least 22.1 millimeters. Nope. The hell? Nope. I could see this getting stuck to the tool again, so I'm heating it here. I don't know if you hear that, like, wah. That's because I'm, like, not trying to really puff too hard, so I'm letting the air go out at the same time. Like out of the side of my mouth. Let's see. No, I'm not like... Bad. I think this could go down a little bit, to be honest. Little low tap. Don't Gucci. Let's see, is it stuck? I might just take this tool out. Yep. On to the next tool. Let's try it. See if this works, and if not, nope. All right, that was fun. So this is fine, it's still gonna survive. I just cannot do anything with this tool anymore for the rest of the day. When it cools back down, so everything is gonna be going up to 1050 degrees. But when everything cools down to room temperature, that joint is just gonna slide right off that tool. Maybe I should have cleaned the tool first. And the reason why I'm prepping so many of these is because when I go to the wet saw, I only wanna go one time. It's the winter, it's cold. I only need to make one of those, but I'm prepping 10, and I figure, you know what? I could just do a giveaway for a bunch of the other ones. What do y'all think about that? What are you talking about? The little attachment flying on the face of my chuck. Are you talking about the knob? Is that what you're talking about? This? I think I need to take the camera off and show y'all what my machine looks like. Because based off some of the comments, it just does not sound like... Excuse me. Here's the other one. Let's wipe this off though. Have y'all been to a glass blowing studio before? Now I need a silicone hose adapter that fits over it, too big, just right. Like, I don't wear anything loose, for example, that would get caught up in here ever, period. I don't wear it. I know you think maybe it looks like it's loose on the camera, but it's not. I have very situational awareness of everything. I don't wear baggy clothes for that reason. So the real danger here, like when it comes to these knobs, is if my hand gets close and I punch my like it hits my knuckle. You know, like you'll see times where I'm working on something, right? And I might have very little space to go, and because I can't hit my torch either, you know, I could only get so close to these things with the tools that I'm using. So if my torch is here, you know, I've had my knuckle hit before by that, and it hurts, but like not, it's not like it's gonna break your hand, and I have this thing spinning fast. So really the most likely incident you're gonna have is if you're like a hippie wook glass blower and you're not wearing shoes and socks while you're working, maybe you'll step on some glass. So like I've seen plenty of people that seem to be like superhuman feet and nothing ever phases them. Or if like, let's say I'm moving my Bunsen, right, and I wasn't paying attention and I accidentally tapped that or something like that. But those are like rookie mistakes. Super rookie if you don't have like any type of situational awareness. And obviously if you see I have band-aids, like 2 band-aids on my hand, that is from scoring and snapping glass. Sometimes there's just like stress in it you don't see and it just breaks the way you don't imagine. So I now wear gloves when I'm scoring bigger pieces, because why did I just that in? And I can't see her coming right now. I know I'm off screen. I think I might actually drop this live and start another one, because I know these are super long for people. Or do you like would you rather this be short and I do a series of like 20-minute lives? Or do you like having these like hour something things you could go back to check out, you know, and as long as I don't put like a ton of ads or slots or whatever, you could just like fast forward through stuff if you want to, is what I was thinking. What do you think? Are these really long streams like too much? I'm gonna choke up on this, and I'm gonna make sure that this is tight. Yeah. All right. Let's do 2 more of these, and then maybe I stop the stream and then restart it when we're on to the next project. I don't know. Let me know what you think. That is something I have never tried before, to be honest. Oh. All right, I'm just checking the camera angle. Alright, hold up. Did this thing die? I'm sorry, yeah. That is so strange. I'm sorry. Hold up, you know what?